Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Unless you are new, then hi, welcome to my channel and welcome to another TV show video. If you are new to this, you have no idea what I am talking about. I have another 5 videos on my channel where I talk through every single TV show I've watched, from Netflix to Amazon Prime to I have watched a lot of TV and there is 5 videos for you to watch, all with over 20 programs in each one. So if you just want an overall lots of different things you can watch in a brief description, then go watch those. They'll be down in the description. I must warn you though, the first few will be awful because I was 17, but my opinions obviously would have changed, which is why I'm creating this video today, which is my top 20 Netflix favorite TV shows that are fully binge-worthy. Like, they're not 1 season, they're not 2 seasons, they're 3+ seasons pretty much. I think other than maybe 2, the rest of them have over 3 seasons, which I count as binge-worthy, like very binge-worthy. I just thought while everyone is stuck inside, now is the time, if you're not obviously working from home, to sit and watch all the TV you possibly can, because I know for a fact I too am doing that when I'm not doing this. So I have come up with my top 20 Netflix TV shows. So I'm just going to focus on Netflix. Most people have that, but if you don't, I'm sure you can find it somewhere else. Like, a lot of these programs aren't just on this one place unless they are Netflix owned. Before I say any of my top 20 though, these are my opinions. This is how I personally like my TV. Obviously everyone's gonna be very, very different, and there will be things on here that some people will be angry that aren't on here. And also, if you want a film version of this, give this a thumbs up, because it will be really helpful to know whether you want a film version of this as well, because I could give you a big long list. So we're gonna start with 20 going down to number 1. So my 20th show here is called Lovesick. Now Lovesick is a British BBC 3 show that got moved onto Netflix. It's about a guy who is trying to get into contact with all of his ex-lovers, his ex one-night stands, his ex anything pretty much, and they just go through this very long process of trying to get through them all. It's really, really light-hearted, it's funny, it's sweet, it's a very British TV show, but not like a sitcom TV show. It's just a very British TV show. You'll know what I mean if you do choose to watch it. There's 3 main characters, 2 guys and a girl, and there's just a lot of love and romance. It's a very loved up TV show. At number 19, I've put RuPaul's Drag Race, which I'm pretty sure 99% of you will know exactly what I'm on about when I say that. But for the people who have no idea what I'm talking about, RuPaul's Drag Race is a bunch of drag queens who are competing against one another to become the biggest drag queen. But this is a reality TV show. Binge watch. You can binge watch this for days on end and will not get bored in any way, shape or form. So RuPaul is a very, very famous drag queen. If you've never heard of RuPaul, you're living under the biggest rock ever. But RuPaul is a huge drag queen and it's basically their show. There's Michelle Visage and they have celebrity guests as well. There is so much drama. It's funny, it's light, it's fun, it's bright. It's a great thing to watch, and you can watch episode after episode after episode after episode. Like, once you start, you kind of can't stop with it. At number 18, I put The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. So this is a Netflix original show, I believe, but it's the same writers as Riverdale. If you know Riverdale, it's one of the best worst shows ever, Riverdale. But we're not talking about that. They're not on this list, which I'm really glad I didn't have to do because I love but hate that show. But The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina is much better in my opinion personally, simply because it's not as cheesy, even though it's slightly going down that route. But the newest season just came out literally a month or 2 ago, so it's pretty new. It's still going. It's an ongoing series, and it is about Sabrina the Teenage Witch, but it's a completely different story, but it's the same character, if that makes any sense at all. So Sabrina is a witch, obviously. She goes to public school in the normal world, and then she also goes to a witch school. She's just friends with a lot of, I want to say muggles, and that's not the right word. She's friends with a lot of people who are normal, who slowly discover themselves. There is a lot of love in this show, there is a lot of drama. It's very much a teenage drama program, but you get into it really, really quickly, and I do fully enjoy it. It's got a lot of comedy in it as well, which is always nice right now. At number 17, I've put down Gossip Girl, which is what I'm currently rewatching. I've watched it once years ago, 7-8 years ago, and I decided to rewatch it recently because I wanted something to binge watch, and because it's got 6 seasons with like 25 episodes in each one, which is so American. It's such an American TV show. I decided I would sit and rewatch it. It's a bunch of Upper East Side kids who go to a private school, are just living their lives as teenagers, but they're being put on a gossip blog called Gossip Girl. No one knows who Gossip Girl is until literally the last episode, but they're all living their lives being these rich people. It's once again a teenage drama program full of secrets and lies and love, so much love and romance, scandal. There is so many things in that one program, and it's wild. You hate every character at one point, you love every character at one point. It's a wild journey. I would definitely say give Gossip Girl a watch. It is one that you can really get sucked into because so much happens all the time, you're never going to be bored with it. For number 16, I've put down Gilmore Girls, which sounds pretty much the same as Gossip Girl. I wrote it down and got very confused. Gilmore Girls was a show that I adored while I was watching it. I absolutely loved it. It's about a mum and a daughter who just get on like best friends. There is so much love between the mum and with the daughter, and family love like the mother and daughter, and it's just a feel-good, really nice show to watch. It is a relaxing show. There's no like huge dramas like Gossip Girl or something like that. It is a more relaxed one. It's laid back, but you really, really get into it and you start to love these characters that you're watching and you feel like you're there. If you love a romance film, you'll definitely love Gilmore Girls. I fully got into it. I fully felt like I knew these people. So if you want something light and nice and sweet, then definitely watch Gilmore Girls. At number 15, I've put Skins, which was my teenage self's favourite TV show ever. I think on this list, this is the thing I've watched the most by far. Skins is pretty much about teenage people in the UK. It's not very realistic, I must say. There's 3 generations, so there's the first and second season, which are the same characters. There is the 3rd and 4th season, which are the same characters, and then the 5th and 6th season are the same characters, and then the 7th season is a revisit to some of the most loved characters from all the seasons. It might sound a bit weird being like, oh, so they change all the characters every 2 seasons, but it's a good way to keep people watching the same show but feeling like it's new and fresh. My personal favourite is the 3rd and 4th season, simply because it has my favourite characters in it. There is Effie, Cook, Freddie, there is Naomi, there are so many good characters in all of them, to be honest, but it is sex, drugs, a lot of drugs, all sorts of things. Oh my goodness, sexuality. If you are going to watch it though, please bear in mind this show is very, very sad, and it talks a lot about mental health and shows you a lot of mental health. So if you are maybe not doing too good, don't watch Skins. Just don't risk it if you think that it could possibly be a risk. But I did absolutely love this show. I haven't watched it in a few years, but when I was a teenager, I watched this non-stop. I didn't watch anything else. I only watched this. At number 14, I have put down Big Mouth, which is probably a little bit controversial. I know Big Mouth is very much a love or hate program. It's a cartoon show. It's the only cartoon show that I'm going to talk about because I actually really don't like cartoons. However, I do really enjoy Big Mouth, other than the last season that had just come out. Big Mouth is, it sounds ridiculous when you say it out loud. Big Mouth is about these cartoon kids going through puberty. It sounds awful. It's so incredibly funny. It's ridiculous, stupid, dark humour. So if you like that kind of stuff, definitely give Big Mouth a watch. However, the last season took it a step too far, but the other seasons I love. I love them so much. I tell people to watch Big Mouth all the time, but the reason it is at number 14 is simply because of the last season. At number 13, I have Lucifer down, which is one that I watched about a year ago, and I did thoroughly enjoy it, and it was definitely a binge-worthy show. Like, I binge watched it so hard. So Lucifer is, as you could probably guess, Satan. He is Satan. He's living on Earth. He is being a human on Earth, even though he is Satan. He is in charge of hell. He decided he didn't want to be in charge of hell anymore, so he comes onto Earth and actually becomes a detective. It's a fun, light-hearted show with a bit of romance in it, a bit of love, a bit of drama and fighting, but it's nothing too deep. If you like a teenage drama, young adult show, I know because it's like mythical creature, you may be put off of it. I know I was, but I honestly really enjoyed it. At number 12, I've put That 70s Show, which some of you may have heard of, some of you may not. It is an older show. I loved it. I loved this show. It's about a group of teenagers who go to high school in America in the 70s. There is so much love and comedy. It's a full love and comedy kind of show. Obviously, there'll be the very odd drama sad bits, but overall it's a comedy and it is actually very, very funny. I laugh a lot through it. It's not one of those ones where you feel like you watch and you never actually audibly laugh, but you say it's funny anyway. It's one where you actually do audibly laugh because it's actually funny. But I do recommend you watching it because it's just a fun, really, really fun show. At number 11, we have another fun comedy show, which is Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Again, I'm sure a lot of you have already seen this, but if you haven't, this is a perfect binge-worthy show right now because it is a full-on comedy. There is no drama, there's no sadness of it. It's just a comedy of people in the police force. It's just comedy gold. It's so easy to watch. There is loads of seasons, there's loads of episodes. It's just great. All the characters are brilliant, like brilliantly written. We have made it to the top 10 of my list now, slowly getting there. But at number 10, we have Instant Hotel, which is such an underrated show. You will sit there and watch the whole thing in a day, which sometimes is great. So Instant Hotel is an Australian show where basically 4 in a bed, which you will know if you're from the UK, but if you don't know, it is 4 teams. There's 4 teams of people. They've all got 2 people in and they all have their own instant hotel, Airbnb, hotel, whatever you want to call it. And they've all got their own homes that they rent out to people, which then they go on this competition and they each go to each place, each hotel, and give it a little rating about how they slept, the location, the decor, like anything you can think of, they've probably rated on it. And then the winner gets a big prize. Can't remember what it is, but they get a big prize. Because it's an Australian show, for me personally, it's really, really interesting because I don't see Australia. So therefore, I'm seeing all these different places in Australia, all these different houses, all these different hotels, and it's just a fabulous time watching that show. Super easy to watch. At number 9, we have an all-time favourite of Breaking Bad. I haven't watched it since it came out almost 10 years ago, so I can't fully remember that show. I did really, really enjoy Breaking Bad, and I know plenty of people who really loved it. So if you haven't actually seen that, definitely give it a watch, even if it's not your kind of thing. It was a huge, huge hype at the time, and I completely know why, because it was amazing. It's a guy who is called Walter White. He is told that he has cancer and decides to start selling drugs and slowly becomes this drug lord. It's not really my cup of tea, but I did very much enjoy it and binge watched it. At number 8, we have another controversial place for this one. Stranger Things. I know people are going to be like, why isn't this number 1, number 2, number 3, much higher up? Basically, let me explain. So Stranger Things, if you have no idea what this is, again, I will explain very slightly. This is going to be a hard one to explain because there are so many spoilers. I think they were like aiming it for the teenage young adult audience, but it's turned out that pretty much any age has ended up loving it. It is about a girl called 11 who has powers, and she escapes from being tested in labs because of her powers, and she goes out and finds this group of guys who are the same age as her. They're all like 11, 12, very young, maybe 9, I don't even know how old they are, and they just go on adventures together. Alien type things in there. There is a little bit of romance, but it's mainly like friendship kind of love. The reason I put this at number 8 is because of the second season. I wasn't too fond of the second season. However, the first and third are incredible. Like, actually incredible. Stranger Things is one of the best programs you'll ever see. You can ask anyone what they think of Stranger Things, and 9 times out of 10 they would say they absolutely loved it. At number 7, I've put How to Get Away with Murder. I loved this show while I was watching it. Like, I fully was into it. You kind of need to watch that in one hit. It's so here, there and everywhere. It's a bunch of kids who are lawyers, who are training to be lawyers, and Annalise Keating is their teacher. Brilliant actress, by the way. She's incredible. She is their lawyer teacher, and stuff happens, but they've got to all work together to work something out. You get sucked into the show instantly. It's a brilliant show. At number 6, we have The Good Place. Now, the reason The Good Place is at number 6 is because I believe it went on a little bit too long. That last episode got me good. I cried for a full hour because I didn't realise how much I loved these characters and how much I loved this show until that very last episode. And it was the first TV show I've actually watched where I felt like the ending was a proper, real ending and actually had closure to it, and it was done really well. I didn't leave feeling disappointed, which I do with most endings of anything, film, TV show. I usually feel disappointed by the end. This is going to be hard to say without spoiling anything. The Good Place is about these 4 people who died and have gone to the good place. There is Michael, who is the head of the good place. He shows them around, he tells them what's what, and then things happen. I can't tell you what, but there is a bit of love, bit of drama, but a lot of comedy, and it's just, again, a light-hearted thing to watch, which, again, in this time is a great thing to watch. It made me feel all warm and nice inside, so I did love it. We are now on to my top 5 picks of the binge-worthy content to watch on Netflix. At number 5, I've got Full House, which is an oldie, but oh my goodness, is it a goodie. A family, a very large family living under the same roof. It's very sweet. There is the Olsen twins as a baby. It's just a very sweet show. It's incredibly cute. It's an easy one to watch. I fully loved that show. I love the characters in it, and it still goes on to this day. The kids in that show are now in Fuller House, which is like a reboot of it, and they have their own kids. It's just super sweet. I could rewatch it again and again and again and again. There is so many seasons, so many episodes in each season, but it's just amazing seeing these kids grow up, and now you get to see them as actual adults. It's great. I love stuff like that, and it's just so, it pulls at your heartstrings. It's so sweet, it's so lovely. At number 4, I have put You down, which is actually quite a new show. So You only has 2 seasons, but they're 2 very good seasons, like very good. You is the same person who is Dan Humphries in Gossip Girl, but he is Joe. And Joe, how do I explain this without sharing anything? It's a little bit Dexter. If you've seen Dexter, you'll know what I mean. Dexter, by the way, is my all-time favourite TV show. It's just not on Netflix, therefore it's not on this list. But if you want to watch Dexter, don't know where you can find it, but you should definitely watch it. It's my favourite thing ever. It's very dramatic and suspenseful throughout the whole thing, and it's just so good. It's been done so well. I like shows like this where I can't actually explain what they are because otherwise I'll give everything away, but you've got to watch it. Watch the trailer at least to give it a go, because it is a brilliant show. Well, at number 3, I have put down Sex Education, which is a show, again, that is going on right now. It has 2 seasons again, but 2 incredibly good seasons, like both perfect seasons. They're beautiful, they're amazing. So A Sex Education is based in the UK, but you can't tell as you're watching this. It feels like you're watching an American British TV show set in the now but also the 80s, but you don't know where it's set at all, which means it appeals to more people, the older generation and the younger generation, because everyone has something to relate to. But it's about kids going through puberty, but not like Big Mouth in any way, shape or form. The main guy, his mum is a sex therapist, so it's all kind of based around that, and he discovers that he could make money at school by also giving advice to people on sex and relationships and love, even though he's never been in a relationship or had sex himself. It's full of love and absolutely full of comedy. It's a light-hearted, fun watch that covers some really, really important topics, but really, really nicely and not too in your face. It's been done beautifully, absolutely beautifully. There is the bus scene. If you've seen it, you'll know exactly what I mean, and if you're going to watch it, you'll know what I mean. The bus scene is by far one of the best scenes I've ever seen on TV, ever. It's incredible. In number 2, we have Black Mirror, which again was a BBC show that got moved onto Netflix. Black Mirror, oh my goodness. So Black Mirror, can't even explain this to you because there are so many things. Each episode is something completely different. None of them link to one another, which might put you off, but honestly, don't let it put you off because it is incredible. This guy's mind, Charlie Brooker, he's the person who writes them, his mind is incredible, and the amount of things that are like episodes that become real life is kind of very scary. We're kind of in a Black Mirror episode right now. So Black Mirror is all about technology and the future and the the utter darkness and the worst possible ways that technology can go, or the most ridiculous ways technology can go, kind of thing. There's some technologies that can go into your head, which makes you feel like you are actually somewhere else. There is technologies where you can find out how long you're going to be with someone, so you can work out if you've got a day with them, if you're going on one date, if you're going to marry them, if you're going to die with them, kind of thing. There is episodes where a mum has put a camera into their child's head so they can see exactly what their child is doing. If they want to have a nosy, they can do that. They can blur things out so the kid never sees certain types of graphic content. It's just amazing. It's such a good show. It means that so many different actors can come onto that show and get their chance to actually be on a huge TV show as well. It's a very, very clever show. However, it is quite dark. So if you don't want something dark, maybe give a skip on Black Mirror. But if you want something incredible, watch Black Mirror. There are so many seasons, so many episodes, and the episodes can be from like half an hour to 2 hours long. Some of them are like actual films. But that does lead me onto my number 1 TV show, which may come as a surprise, but it's one that I really love with all my heart, and that show is Atypical. I love this show so much. It's, again, quite an easy watch. It's lightweight, it's heartfelt. The whole thing is so heartfelt and beautiful, and whenever I watch it, I just have so much joy within me and so much love within me while I'm watching it. I love it to pieces. But each season has been perfectly done. I love it. It's about this boy who has autism, and it's so much more than just that, obviously. The first season really kind of focuses on that, but as it goes on, it focuses on the parents, with the kids, with their friends, and it just covers so many things from friendship. Friendship is a huge thing throughout it. There is love, there is sexuality. But yeah, Atypical is at my number 1 simply because of how much joy it gives me while I'm watching it and how much love I have while watching it. But yeah, I really hope this was somewhat helpful for you guys. My top 20 Netflix TV shows. If you want to see a film version, let me know, because I can definitely do that for you. Tell me down below your top 5 TV shows from Netflix that you have seen. Tell me down in the comments so other people can read it, I can read it, and that way we've all got more ideas, because that would be great for this time. Like I said, my other videos though will be down in the description, because I mention way over 100 different TV shows that I have watched. So if you need even more inspiration, but that will be down in the description. But I really hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and I can definitely do another one of these. And also hit subscribe button, because I upload quite a few times on this channel, and hit that notification bell to make sure you don't miss on any other videos. While you're stuck inside, maybe you can watch me as well. I hope you guys are staying safe and well, and I hope you're all doing okay, and everyone you know is doing okay, because that is the main thing of all of this, that everyone is safe and well, and I really hope you are. But if you are bored and you're wondering what to do, I hope this video was somewhat helpful. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video and it gave you a few ideas of things you could possibly watch, and hopefully I will see you again in the next one.